Guys, good people, welcome to today's high protein full day of eating. Right now we are making a bacon and egg and cheese pita. So right now I'm going to take one of the pitas, put them in a toaster. The eggs and bacon is basically cooked. Then we're going to sprinkle some cheese inside the pita so it melts with it. It's going to taste really, really good. So right now we are kicking off with a very high protein meal. In the pita itself it has almost 35 grams of protein, which is pretty good. And the key thing I'd say, if you're someone that's say trying to stay a bit leaner maybe, try and cram as much as the food as you can into the single pita, so then you don't have to go and get a second pita and then having an extra 155 calories which you didn't necessarily need. As for the protein coffee, it is delicious. This new one that I randomly found on the My Protein website, it's an old product as well, but I found it and I thoroughly love it. And the flavour I've gone for is the macchiato. I randomly came across it and I assumed it wasn't going to taste nice because I bought the protein hot chocolate that My Protein made, and without saying anything really bad about it, I didn't like it. It tastes like, it just didn't mix well, it didn't taste great, I didn't like it at all. So I had little hopes for this, so I ended up buying it. So there's little small sample ones and I really enjoyed it. The macchiato flavour is the one that I'd recommend. And in case I didn't make it clear, this isn't just coffee tasting whey protein, this is actually coffee in it, so it's caffeine. So each serving of this has around 95 grams of caffeine in it, so it is still enough to give you like a little bit of a boost. And if you haven't tried it and you're a coffee person, I would definitely recommend it. You're still getting around 20 grams of protein, but you're also getting in your coffee as well. These two together come up to around 65 grams of protein. In the bacon, egg and cheese pita alone, we're looking at around 35 grams of protein. There's quite a lot of protein in the pita in itself. That's almost 40 grams, around 35. So it's looking like we're probably going to hit our protein goals pretty easily today. Folks, it's time for the next meal. I'm kind of hungry, but I'm not starving, and I don't know why. Have you ever got this feeling where you're kind of hungry, but you just don't feel like having some meat? The way that came out semi weird. So basically what I'm saying is I'm hungry, but I just don't feel like making like the beef mince or prawns I've got in the fridge. So what I'm going to go for is, we are going for powdered peanut butter with the protein porridge. I'll show you the macros and stuff on screen. In the event that I feel like it needs more of a peanut butter taste, which is very rare, I'll also add in some drops as well, because these are really, really strong. Alright peeps, while we're waiting for the potatoes to cook, what we're going to do is eat a banana because I'm semi-peckish, and I'm going to boil the potatoes for quite a long time because I like it when they're actually soft. And what I'm going to do is a new recipe, and instead of putting the potatoes in the air fryer, I'm actually going to put it on the frying pan, purely because my girlfriend Kareen's been doing it and she's been making it really good. We also have some broccoli. I'm also going to tell you guys a true fact. A lot of the foods I eat, like salmon, sea bass, all that stuff, it came from my girlfriend. It's purely because she once made it for me and it tasted good. But anyways, so what I'm going to do is cut up some broccoli and put it in there. I'm not a massive fan of it, but she managed to make it the other day, and she made it more tasty than I did by boiling it with the potatoes and then mixing it with the meat so it was more flavoursome. So we're going to do that now. So remember what I said in the last full day of eating, try and wean yourself onto foods that you know that's good for you, that you may not necessarily like 100%. And if you're someone watching this and you don't really know how to cook, so you always just think, nah, I'm not going to try it, you need to learn how to cook. I don't care if you live with your mom, your girlfriend, or your wife. Trust me, you need to have the ability and the knowledge to cook your meals, because when you do that, you start realizing how much calories in the certain foods you're eating. And also, it's just a good trait to know. Like, I don't believe any human on earth, man or woman, should not know how to cook their own food in a good way. Not basic, plain, bland chicken or whatever the hell you eat. Season to a point where you actually enjoy it, so you don't often crave having to go to a takeaway shop or a restaurant. Alright folks, and the food is now done. We have a whole bunch of veg in here. We got corn, we got the potatoes, and we have the broccoli as well. But hopefully it doesn't taste too bad mixed in the meat. Typically this would taste better if I had some sweet chili sauce to put on top of it to give it like a bit of a sweeter taste. However, I have run out and I have not remembered to buy some yet. But if you ever recreate this recipe, I would definitely at this point add a little bit of sweet chili sauce just on top, just to kind of give it a little bit of a nice twang as well. This meal here roughly will come up to around 600 calories and it's almost 8 grams of protein in itself. It's a very, very weighty bowl. I highly recommend this meal, but I will say typically I would do this with diced steak or an actual real steak. It doesn't matter. I feel like this goes better with steak, like steak, potatoes and broccoli. But yeah, this will be fine as well. It's always good to kind of switch things up, but I will recommend this and steak. Goes, it bangs. Kareem's made it a few times for me. It tastes pretty good. What is good? That meal was pretty damn filling. Anyways, what we're going to move on to now, because I feel kind of snackish, we're going to have the standard pancakes. So they're not protein pancakes or anything. I do actually have some protein pancakes, but I just want to show you guys that it's okay to have, you know, the regular pancakes you can get in the store. And once again, you don't have to think of them as just breakfast food. Each one of these pancakes is 76 calories, so I'm going to have 2. So all I'm going to do is toast that, and I'm going to have it with actual peanut butter. I could have the powdered one and like mix it with water. But if I'm being honest, I hate doing that. I'll only do that if I plan on having like a large portion. So if I was making something more like French toast and I want to like feel like multiple pieces of toast with it, but if it's just the tiny amount I'm going to use, 5 grams of this is going to perfectly be fine. And along with that, I'm probably going to have 2 jellies because I end most of my days with jellies if I have a sweet tooth. So I'm having the pancakes just because I feel like having it, and this will give me like a sweety, salty, sweet taste. I'm going to have the salty sweetness from the pancakes and the peanut butter, and then I have these 2, which is like a full-on sweet tooth vibe. So if any of you out there have a super sweet tooth, these or blueberries or strawberries can really get you through the day. I have blueberries in the fridge, but for being honest, they're not a tasty pack. Sometimes fruits can be hit or miss. Sometimes you have the perfect pack and they taste sweet and lovely, and sometimes you get the ones that either taste bland or the taste a bit sour or bitter. I'm the only person that's going to get such a big large plate for 2 tiny ass pancakes. Make sure you get yourself a scale that all you have to do is put the item on there and zero it out and then take away the stuff. Otherwise it becomes much more of a hassle when weighing things day to day. They only cost around like £5 or £7. Yeah, that's 5 grams easily. And 5 grams for video perspective is a very light smidge. And I'll just eat that now. So you'll see the macros and calories on screen. For these 2 pancakes and the jellies, roughly comes up to around 190 calories, which is roughly a little bit less than a protein bar. So instead of this, I could have had a protein bar. However, because I've already reached my protein goal for the day, there was no need for me to have excess amount. Like I could if I wanted to, but I created the pancake, so I had the pancake instead. I think my protein for today is probably at least 185 grams of protein, which is more than enough for me. Typically, as long as I'm hitting at least 165 to 170 grams worth of protein, I'm fine. I don't overthink it too heavily. Alright, you should be seeing the full calories and macros for the full day. So we're looking at 190 grams of protein, 51 grams of fat, 192 grams of carbohydrates, and total calories comes up to roughly around 2,000 calories. So yeah, that's a good example for those who are going through that amount of calories. So hopefully this video gave you some meal ideas of what you can do and have throughout the day. Don't try and mimic my exact full day of eating. Just take bits and pieces and use a general idea of how to manipulate meals for yourself that will fit your goal. Let me know in the comments if there's any other calorie amounts you would like me to go for next. I've done various amounts. I think the previous one was 2,500, the one before that may have been 3,000, and the one before that was 1,600. So let me know what calorie number you'd like me to go for next. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.
Make $1 million cash for you flatline. Make a master plan, watch it backfire.